Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, she's a fucking celebrity. She's the first trans woman to win an Austin Music Award. Also was on the cover of Austin Women's. Yeah. I think y'all are in for a real fucking treat. I'm gonna say this, and this may piss some of y'all off, but Kim Petra is who? Because why celebrate that when we have somebody right here from Austin? Make some noise. Ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, monkeys, squirrels, and everything in between. Make some noise for the one and only P1nkstar.
I wanted to talk particularly about community, so it's good that we already kind of started that conversation. And specifically, like, with girls like us, I watched your, like, performance videos that were on YouTube.
Yeah, the process of making Girls Like Us. Well, it started, so Girls Like Us, which is, it's my live music video experience featuring all trans talent from Texas, mostly like pop artists who are all trans in Texas. It started with this collaboration with this, in the pandemic, there was this collective doing this thing called Hotel Free TV, and they were filming artists and trying to get them some money for doing what they were doing. And so they asked me to like produce one of the shows, and so that's kind of how that's how it sparked, and then it like grew into this whole big ass like film production. We fundraised a lot for it. I spent all my savings on it, but it was like, it's this beautiful film featuring trans artists living in the South, specifically living in Texas, that, you know, like fighting for their lives every fucking day, but also are so amazing at their craft. And so I think that was like the big premise of it, is like we have to showcase what is happening in Texas right now, specifically with trans artists. We have to showcase the trans community that lives here, especially because no one thinks of Texas as like this space where trans people are safe. And like there are spaces in Texas where we are safer, but I think it's also like the breadth and the depth of the talent here is incredible, and it's hard for a lot of artists that live here to like get beyond their local scenes. So we wanted to make this big thing, and it, honestly, like my partner Turito inspired a lot of it and like put a lot of effort in being like, no, we have to make this like bigger, better, harder, like. And so it was this beautiful experience. We had like over 30 artists working on this film. Everyone who worked in the film is queer. Everyone who's featured in the film is trans. And so it's this very beautiful, also like documentation of the work that can happen when you're in community, and just like documenting the work that can happen in Texas right now, specifically around trans community and queer community. I choreographed none of the dances. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a dancer. I'm a performance artist. I'm a trained performance artist, but I'm also a pop star. And like, I've met, you know, it's like being in community, meeting so many amazing queer artists all the time. It's like I've met such talented dancers and choreographers here in Austin that I'm like, okay, why would I even try to choreograph something when like there's someone that can do a much better job? And so like I'd rather have them do it and like pay them to do it than like pretend that I'm doing something that I don't know how to do.
You're all lifting each other up.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, I think that's very important, specifically like in our community. Just, I don't know, it's this weird thing where like some people get like this attention and this like rep or whatever, but at the same time it's like, at least for me, I feel like I'm like the face of like queer art in Austin, and it's like weird to say that, but at the same time it's like I wouldn't be anywhere without my community, and I know that, and I respect my community so much, and like I wouldn't be able to make the art that I make without being in community with so many beautiful queer trans artists. I'm like so in love with the queer community of Austin because there's so many talented artists, and we're all trying to support each other. I feel like Austin has always been this haven in the South for artists and queer people in general. And so I feel like whenever I got here, there was this thriving queer scene that I fell in love with. And I think maybe at the time I got to Austin, so maybe like separated into like different like realms, like between the art world, the underground scene, the downtown scene, drag. And I think like everyone kind of like was doing their own thing and like didn't talk to each other. And I mean, I think white people really like me and my partner Y2K or Durito a lot is because we kind of brought everyone together, and now we're like all talking to each other, and it's really beautiful. I mean, I'm sure that has happened in the past, but at least like I think what's happening right now in Austin, that's kind of what we did. But I mean, I am aware of like the long history of queer artistry and music in Austin, and it's like I respect my elders so much, and like that is my lineage, you know. It's like Gretchen Phillips with like the dyke punk scene, and then Christine doing her punk terrorist drag, and she was like, I mean, she was a queen of Austin for a long time. And also Erica Nix, who else? Jeremy Mouthfeel, like they were all kind of like holding the queer community together when I got here. And so I respect their work so much. And they were like the people that saw me and were like, hey, there's something in you that's special and we're gonna support it. And then they all like, I don't know, it's like now I get to like hold that power in a way. And I'm like the one artist in the queer community that is being able to break the boundary between like I'm getting recognized as an Austin music artist, not just like a queer performer, and I get to be like on the cover of like the newspapers, and I get to be on the cover of Austin Woman, and it's like none of them were able to do that because the time where they did the work that they did did not allow for that. So it's like, to me, it's like I wouldn't be able to do what I do currently if it wasn't for them. Yeah.
I'm curious whether you feel like stepped into the role of an elder.
I mean, in a way, yes and no. I'm baby. But also, you know, like in a way, it's like I don't think of myself as an elder. I think maybe younger people do think of myself as an elder, but I'm like, I'm in my 20s. I'm living life. I'm like partying and doing stuff all the time. And like, I love that. And also, but I do think like people think of me as like a pioneer for the queer community. And I think that's very special. And I'm very grateful about that. And it's like, especially like, I don't know, when people come up to me and I'm like, and they say like I wouldn't be able to do the drag that I do right now if it wasn't for you. I wouldn't be able to do the art that I do if it wasn't for you. Like, you inspired me to do this, and that feels so fucking incredible. It's like unbelievable. And I don't know. I mean, I don't think of myself as an elder, but I do have a couple daughters, and I have a couple people that I want to mentor that I think will take on the role that I have in queer nightlife for Austin in the future. But I mean, I think I'll be in Austin for a while. I think where I'm at currently is I think I have to travel a lot and I have to figure out. I don't think I'll be in Austin permanently, but I will never leave Austin. And like it's like I'll always have to be here for like at least one season of the year. It's like I'm too indebted to the city. Like the city has given me everything I have, and this community has given me everything I have, and like I have to like be able to give back and to like support the artists that are doing the work here. Like career-wise, I wouldn't be anywhere without the support of the queer community of Austin, and like I wouldn't get all this like accolades and like cover stories and like all like this recognition if it wasn't because I'm in community and people love me and I love the people that are in the community and like all my fans are my friends and like we're all just vibing and I just get like I get to be the face of that, but I wouldn't be able to if I wasn't in community with so many beautiful, talented queer people that live here. I think my music sounds better when I'm performing it live now than actually on the records. And there's like a couple of things. It's like I'm a lot less dysphoric than I was. I have way more control over my voice. I've been performing for longer. But you know, it's like at this point, currently, South by Southwest 2023, I'm like bored of the music that I've released. But I think it sounds really good when I perform it, and I think it makes a lot of sense when I perform it. And I think people enjoy it a lot when I perform it. So that's cool. But I think, you know, it's like in the future, especially I think now, because last year I was awarded like Best Electronic Artist of the Year. I think that gave me a lot of freedom. I feel like for a long, long time in Austin, I was like fighting to be recognized as a musician because people saw me and it's like this big queer performance and people just thought people would describe me as a performer, never as a musician. So it was like all these rock bands, all these rock boys with guitars on stage. They were like, oh yeah, we know P1nkstar, she's a performer. And I'm like, no, bitch, I'm a musician, nah. But yeah, I guess it's this weird thing. Like after getting that award, it was kind of like changed something in me where I'm like, okay, well, now I'm better than all these boys that are playing the rock venues and doing their little thing with their little drums and their little guitars. And I have more accolades than they do, so I can do whatever the fuck I want now. I don't have to like impress anyone in Austin anymore. And I guess that just gave me a lot of freedom. So I feel like the music that I'm releasing this year and next year is like going back to my roots being a Latina. It's like Latin inspired, but also hard electronic, which is what I really, really like. And it's like less trying to be like musical and more trying to like make tracks that are just hitting fucking hard. And it's like I don't have to impress anyone because I'm Austin's best electronic artist. Christine is like a huge inspiration for me, and she was holding the throne for queen of nightlife and queer culture in Austin for a very, very long time. And in a way, I feel similarly to her. I feel like our music is the avenue for us to perform and to create spaces. So in a way, it's like I don't think that people in Austin listen to my music that much. Like I know they do, but I think it's like what is important is like to come to a show, because it's like my shows are a fucking party. Yeah. It's like this is the fucking dance floor and y'all better dance with us. And feel like, you know, it's like I feel like that is very I mean it's like in line with what Christine does, where it's like maybe there's not as many people who listen to her music. I mean, she's a fucking icon in like queer culture in the world, but also like what's really, really cool about Christine is to go see her perform and see a show and see like her grandness on stage. And I think, I mean, I don't think maybe I'm like so grand on stage, but I think what I do on stage is like make everyone have a good time. I make everyone feel comfortable. I bring trans people to the front. I bring queer people to the front, and it's like this is a party for us. I've been throwing parties for a long time, but this is the way I do it now when I perform, and this is for the gays. This is for the dolls. This is for the trannies, and y'all better deal with it. Girls Like Us is for the trans girls, and I used to be like, Girls Like Us is for all the trans people in the room, but then like I realized that made trans mass people uncomfortable. But it's like, I mean, Girls Like Us is a song about being trans and being beautiful and like feeling beautiful and feeling comfortable and like having a fucking great time with other trans people. And I think that's what I want to do at my shows every time. It's like I just, especially like when I'm on tour and I see the front row and it's all trans people, I'm like, I made a baby. This is all I want in life. Just to see trans people at the fucking show having the time of their lives. That's the only thing that's important to me.
I love that. I think we should wrap up because music's starting again, but is there anything else you want to say?
Trannies are very important in the world, and we will rule the world one day. So don't be scared when it happens.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Vicky.